Warning, this podcast contains angels.
And spoilers.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the S10 podcast for Supernatural, Season 10, Episode 20, Angel Heart.
What are you doing?
I'm your host, Mike, and joining me are Omikins.
Hi.
And Clio and her retractable Sharpie.
Oh, I thought something was pooping out of the pen.
Oh, it's my True TV Sharpie.
I thought something was pooping out of the pen.
Pooping.
Oh my god, what's wrong with us? Anyway,
I'm tired.
good episode.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was not exactly a fan of the character of Claire, but they gave a good more development to said character, which is nice when they give a recurring, not main character development.
Yes, much better than attempted rape.
Much
better.
Much. Yeah, the last time we saw Claire, she was locked in a room with a guy... 2 times ago. That was right. 2 times ago. She was locked into a room with a dude, and
He was taking his pants off.
He was taking his pants off when Cass burst in.
I don't think Nikki remembered that.
That's the time when Dean went crazy and slaughtered the whole room full of dudes.
And I did not.
Oh, right.
Right. I don't, and honestly, I don't blame him. For any
I
room
really
of dudes for the Mark of Cain to thirst for blood, that was it, because they are worse than any monsters they would have fought.
Yeah, see, it's things like that where I just forget.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That was pretty dark, even for this show. But speaking of monsters, we kind of get a semi-new one this episode. It's an angel, but it's a different choir of angels, the Grigori, also known as a Watcher Angel. And
They be vicious.
he's pretty vicious.
Right.
They feed on people. They're fallen. And according to Castiel, they're all extinct.
You better rethink that, Cass.
You damn straight he better. And
Well, they ain't anymore.
unlike all of the other angels and archangels we've seen thus far, their sword is actually a fucking
It's
sword.
a sword. And not a dagger.
Like-
Not that there's anything wrong with the daggers.
Not that there's anything wrong with daggers, but if you're going to call it a sword, have it look like a sword. Jeez, man.
With the pointy end.
Exactly. So, that was that. That's the monster. Anyway, Claire is back, and she's looking for Mama.
Mama Novak.
Mama Novak.
Stuck in a heaven hell.
Stuck in a kind of a semi-heaven-like state.
Yeah.
Reliving it over and over again while the Grigori feeds on her.
Which, I mean, once we saw what her real heaven was, the fake heaven, like, did not hold a candle. It's like, fake heaven was actually nightmare hell.
Kinda was. It was like like you said, it was a heaven hell. It was halfway.
Yeah.
Wasn't exactly torture, but wasn't exactly great either. So, yeah, as he said, a well-kept soul could feed him for decades. And it's so tasty.
Yeah. So, are there others? He's not the only one?
I would assume that there are others.
I would assume others survived, yeah.
Yeah.
They might not be in the same situation as him, as far as, like, having how many bodies lined up in that gross little warehouse thing.
Yeah.
They might be, like, 1 or 2 here and there, or they might not even, they might just be, like, lounging on a deck somewhere, playing a banjo. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? But he had a pretty good thing going. He was a faith healer. And he used that to find willing people to sign up and basically be his food. And he's been doing this forever.
He healed enough people to get credibility.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
kidnapped the ones who wouldn't be missed.
Yep. Good way to stay under the radar, I guess, right? So,
Yeah.
Cass calls Sam and Dean, who show up to a hospital. Cass is too scared to go in there and face Claire by himself. He wanted backup because they speak troubled teen.
They
You
don't.
guys were both troubled teens.
It's like, you were both troubled teens. You speak her language. And Dean's face was
They're
just
just
like,
You don't. They don't speak her like level of troubled teen.
mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit as far as like, you know, the parents abandoning and, you know, missing and stuff. But when it comes to being a girl, troubled teen, they have no, they can't. They can't even.
But I mean, Sam made a connection, and to a much different extent, Dean made a connection.
Yes.
You know, they weren't so different from her that they couldn't reach out. So
Right, so she escaped from the hospital, and they had a let's split up gang moment.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I know. Who's Fred? Who's Shaggy? Yeah. Anyway, Sam tracks down Claire at the hotel, teaches her a few things to help her stay under the radar, like use an alias. This is how you know, hack credit cards, and
that was
how
funny.
to create fake ones, and all that good stuff. And Dean and Cass go and find the dude who pushed her into a dumpster and got her in the hospital in the first place. And Dean...
Set a spell. Let me show you how to hack a credit card.
Anyway, Dean provided, you know, some effective interrogation techniques, including slamming his head into a table. And this
Like,
is
who wasn't noticing that?
I know, right? Exactly. But here's the thing. Cass tells Sam, you know, Dean snapped. He's getting worse. Like, Dean has done far worse pre-Mark of Cain when interrogating people. Far worse than slamming someone's head into a table.
Yeah.
He's held people at knife and or gunpoint.
Yeah.
So...
They're overreacting.
Mhm.
Totally are.
Just because he has the mark, they're like, oh, he's doing something violent. Uh-oh, red alert. It's like, are you fucking serious? If you look at when he murdered a room full of people, and now, I think he's doing surprisingly well.
Yeah, interrogating a scumbag versus murdering 6 people.
Yeah.
Totally the same thing, guys.
Surprisingly well.
Horrible, horrible violent acts.
Terrible.
But this is enough fuel to get Sam and Cass to agree to leave Dean behind babysitting.
Yep.
Dean gave it a whole of, what, 2 minutes before he said, we're getting out of here before I
He
go
didn't
crazy.
even finish his beer.
He had a
I'm
sip.
like, dude, stay 5 minutes, finish that sucker.
He cracked it, had a sip. Oh, can I have one?
Yeah.
Still
Wow.
play mini golf.
That I loved. Like,
I don't know. If I were him, I would have let her have a beer. It's just a fucking beer. She's
Right.
18.
she's 18. It's a beer. She'll live. Mini golf,
That's
though.
his beer.
So this is the life? Hitting the road, staying at crappy hotels, playing mini golf. We haven't played mini golf in a while. We've never seen them play mini golf.
No.
It's true. Maybe it hasn't been since they were kids.
Maybe. But I love the whole Caddyshack impersonation. It's a no!
And then the Happy Gilmore.
And the whole scene was brilliant.
Just go in.
Yeah, the whole scene was brilliant because she didn't get the reference. Like, I'm done with your generation. And just walks off like, you know, prissy.
Dean is prissy.
Dean is prissy. He's such a prima donna. But they bonded, and that was cute.
It was adorable. Especially since you tried to have him killed pretty recently.
Fairly recently. Like, even hired a couple of shady people to do it.
Well, not hired, kind of coerced.
Mm-hmm. Coerced. But, she reunites with her mommy, who the whole reason she was hunting for mommy was to tell her off.
To ream her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she finds out that mommy actually was gone because she was cooped up and she couldn't go anywhere.
Tortured. I mean, as soon as she saw the state her mom was in, they both broke down. It's just like, aw.
Yeah, it's like, mommy didn't really abandon me. Mommy got kidnapped by a monster.
Yeah.
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 That was nice that she got that reunite, you know.
Yeah.
They were reunited before, you know,
It was short-lived.
it was short-lived. But, hey, Angel was coming at her daughter. She threw herself in front of it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, she went mommy mode.
And then while the guys were fighting, I was like, it would be awesome if Claire just stabbed him in the back. And then it happened. I was like, oh, yes!
They did their stereotypical, oh no, one of our heroes is down on the ground and they have the obvious advantage. Let's have a mystery character stab them in the back. Because that hasn't been done 17,000 times.
But it was awesome.
I know
because
it was awesome.
my thought process was, that would be cool if Claire stabbed him in the back.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, oh, they're not going to do that. And then they did it, and I was like, yes!
She totally stabbed them in the back, guys.
She did it. I like her. I want her to become a hunter so we can see her more.
I am much more on board with Claire after this episode.
Character development!
She matured.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got closure for her mother. She already got some semi-closure for her dad because, you know, Cass said he's dead, he's in heaven.
In heaven, yeah. And now they're together, and that was the cutest thing.
I know. Did anybody else be like...
Because he was just crying, and I was like, oh, God!
They're together. They're sharing a heaven. It's so sweet.
I don't think anybody would want to share heaven with me.
Depends on what your definition of heaven is. Indeed. So she's on her way to being a hunter. And after basically learning the ropes from Sam and Dean separately. I mean, she got the whole picture. How to...
2 halves of the rope.
Yeah, she got both halves of the rope, exactly. And she also has kind of the ultimate weapon.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, what hunters... I mean, Sam and Dean have angel blades of their own, but they got them just due to the fact that how many angels have died near them. That they're just laying there, they could pick them up. You know, how many hunters can say, hey, I got an angel sword?
Well, Dean himself is kind of an ultimate weapon.
Actually, you know what, you're right. Dean himself is kind of an ultimate weapon. But, overall, it was a good episode, but I'm struggling to find more to talk about with it, because it was very cut and dry and straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, okay, what was the book that Dean gave her?
The,
Epochs something?
No, it was Enochian
Enochian?
mythos or something like that. I don't know. The myth of Enoch. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why did she give that to her? What?
It's a whole book on angel lore.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's because she has the angel sword. He thought she should know. Yeah, okay, I got it now.
And her daddy
I didn't
was
see the title of the book.
Yeah, her daddy was conscripted by an angel too, so
yeah,
that would help.
Read the real stuff.
Read the real stuff, exactly. So here's the question: are we going to see her again in the future?
Yeah, of course.
Might not be this season.
They wouldn't set her up to be a hunter if we weren't going to see her again.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Charlie.
Kind of like Charlie.
I am glad, though.
What?
Because it's another female character that's strong and can take care of herself.
Can you imagine if her and Charlie teamed up?
It would...
I think their personalities are so different that it would be really funny. Because Charlie would be all like bubbly and nerdy at her, and she'd just be like, it'd be so funny.
Well, you know what?
I think that makes us best friends.
That would make it, because think about early Sam and Dean. Sam was a little more cheerful back then, and he was very, very nerdy and a gigantic nerd, and Dean was all like...
Yeah, it took us a couple seasons to see the nerd that Dean really is.
Right. So,
Dean's a giant nerd.
Hey, I smell a better spin-off idea than that whole thing they tried to pull last year.
Yeah.
New hunter team, the Lady Hunters.
Lady Hunters.
Claire and Charlie.
Imagine the crossovers. Same universe.
Felicia Day is too busy to do that, though.
I know.
She's got 1,000 things going on at once.
That would be fantastic, though.
It would be fantastic.
Didn't she just release a memoir as well?
Did she? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. And she's running Geek and Sundry. She's doing a couple shows.
She guest stars on television.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Yeah.
She's
You're
busy,
right.
Edie.
She's busy. I hope she has a good assistant who's great at scheduling. or that she
She
herself
has she has a really good team at Geek and Sundry, so.
Yeah, exactly. I hope somebody's good at scheduling, because otherwise I'm amazed she hasn't pulled her hair out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really about it for this episode. I mean, it didn't really advance. The only thing that advanced the main plot was Cass's overreaction at Dean's interrogation methods.
Yeah.
But that's
not really even pushing the storyline further at all. It's kind of like
it's stagnated.
Well,
yeah.
Sam and Cass also had a discussion about, is this the best thing to keep this from Dean? I think. Right? They talked about that too.
Did
right?
they? I don't remember. Yeah, they did.
I'm having trouble remembering right now, but
yeah,
pretty sure that Cass was like, I'm not sure this is the best thing. Or maybe that didn't happen. I don't know. Maybe that was in the preview.
It's possible. Anyway, the next episode is called Dark Dynasty. Not Duck Dynasty, Dark Dynasty. And the Winchesters meet the Steins. Those crazy guys again. Dean and Sam investigate a bizarre murder and realize the killer bears the same tattoo as those from the Stein family. Eldon Stein. Was that the same guy Dean killed that we said he'd probably be back?
I don't think so, because they had a guy tied up and it didn't look like the same guy.
Okay, so Eldon Stein attacks Dean and a brutal fight ensues. Meanwhile, Castiel acts as referee when Charlie and Rowena are forced to work together on the Book of the Damned.
Yes! Double redheads!
This is gonna be fun.
Oh my god. Crowley?
Oh gosh. Now I'm just... the picture Misha posted not too long ago on his Facebook, where he's in the middle of Felicia Day and Ruth, and he's like, maybe I should be a redhead too. They look so happy. It was like a happy family.
Okay, so when they're forced to work, Crowley discovers his mother is missing and knows she's up to something, so he turns to an old enemy for help.
What?
Who's that gonna be?
Meta-fucking-tron.
Oh no, don't do it!
No, don't bring
No!
Meta Derp back into this. I'm tired of his face. Kill him.
So am I.
Got the demon tablet. Who better for Crowley to turn to than the man with the demon tablet?
We know that he's running around wild.
He's also mortal, right?
He's also mortal. Yeah.
So, I mean, if he didn't have the demon tablet, Crowley would have full control over him. But he's got the demon tablet. So, that's going to be an interesting meeting, if it is indeed Metatron. I didn't watch the promo. I didn't see Metatron's face.
He didn't die. So, I'm just guessing.
Uh-huh. Ditto.
It just seems most likely, because he has been free and we haven't seen anything of him for a while, so it just makes sense that he'd pop in.
Right, but it's winding down the season right now. So what, 2 episodes left? Is this the second to last episode?
Well, what's the number of the episode?
Close down my thing. It's 20.
No,
they go to 24, don't they?
Tonight was 20. Yeah. The one we're talking about right now is 20. Next week is 21. Hold on, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I will find it. Season 10.
I have...
No, there's 22 episodes.
Wow.
Hey, nice.
So only 2 weeks left of this. Holy hell. Interesting. So it's going to be called... next episode's Dark Dynasty, and the season finale is The Prisoner.
Well, that can be a couple of things. It could be referring to Metatron because he was a prisoner in heaven, or it could be Lucifer, like we've been saying, because he's a prisoner
in the cage.
Yeah.
And I mean, Metatron's got the demon tablet.
He does.
Right, and that was a
If
theory.
anything could do it, it'd be that.
So he just breaks Lucifer out again, which would, also break Michael out with him. So, what is his plan? To restart the apocalypse? Because that's what the two of them are going to get up to when they get out of there.
Yeah.
So...
Apocalypse time, yay!
Did they said they renewed this for an 11th season, right? Or am I
Yes.
crazy?
Yes, that's it is.
Sorry, I had to think. I couldn't remember.
Uh-huh. I'm just looking because I feel like I'm crazy for thinking they did.
No, they did.
They did. Okay.
Yeah, we talked about it, I think.
So, but they haven't... Yeah, January, they renewed it for an 11th season. So how many seasons are we going to go with this? Because a lot of people theorize that this season 10 would be it.
Well, that's because there was a lot of rumor going around that from the actual cast that season 10 was going to be the end. But now the cast has gone and said that they're going to keep on board as long as they can.
Until they run out of ideas,
yeah.
Someone wants to quit, or the network shuts them down, or the viewer, the ratings tank.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, from what I understand, this season, in the beginning, obviously was doing great because of Demon Dean. Was like, I still swear, I'm never going to let them, I'm never going to forgive them for ending that as early as they did.
Yeah.
That was what compelled me to watch season 10 and be so excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, the season's supposedly doing good.
They just need a big bang, which would be Lucifer.
He's a big bang.
And if there's anything that this show does really well, it's cliffhangers at the end of seasons.
Oh, God, I hate that. They've gotten better
They
with
do
it.
really well.
I don't know, when angels started falling from the sky, I was like, that's so lame.
Oh, I thought that was awesome.
I didn't like it.
You know what? That was a pretty awesome cliffhanger-wise, because it's like, now what?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that.
No, but the end of season 9 was probably the best. When the last scene of the season is Demon opening his eyes.
Yeah. Because it's like, what?
What?
He's a what now? I'm sorry.
I loved it. As soon as it was happening, Crowley's got that speech. I'm like, oh God, Dean's a demon now. Oh my God, oh my God. I'm like,
No,
oh,
I had
shit.
a lot of trouble.
And then it happened. I was like, what?
I had a lot of trouble believing it. Even when he opened his eyes, I'm like, demon? What? Demon?
Demon.
I wish I could. I wish I got to make that joke more often than I did.
Yeah.
I will keep nodding. Anyway, I just thought of something funny. They sent Claire to live with Sheriff Mills for a while. So there's your setup. You got, Charlie is Sam, Claire is Dean, and Sheriff Mills is their Bobby. That effect!
Bobby!
Well, I mean, Sheriff Mills isn't exactly alone either. The other sheriff is
Yeah,
there
she's
too.
got her buddy
Right.
cop.
You're right, she's got her buddy cop. And let's not mention that Sheriff Mills was from the same town as Bobby and arrested him on many occasions and even kissed him.
When
Woo!
I'm dating you.
I like it.
Can I pitch this idea to CW now?
Do it!
Pretty sure they've thought of it. That's why it's happening.
All they gotta do is free up Felicia Day's schedule.
Yeah, free up the...
Felicia Days.
I'm so excited. I went to say Delisha Faye.
Delicia!
Free up Delisha Faye's schedule.
You've done that a lot the last couple days.
I'm tired. Anyway, that's our show. That's our episode.
Yay!
Free up Delisha Faye's schedule, and we can have that spin-off. Clio,
Yeah.
where can they find you?
You can find me on the socials at Cleomoto and on Twitch at the Cleomoto.
Go watch her play all kinds of fun dating sims, and
That's not just everything.
that's not
no?
everything. But you know what?
Okay.
I gotta say, they are entertaining.
Yep.
They are very entertaining.
Just pay attention to the warnings.
Graphic content.
No?
Adult
Yes?
language.
Maybe?
Adult situations.
Okay, you can find me on the Twitters. At LadyVenom24. LadyVenom. No, I'm 24.
You tell.
Yeah, you could tell, right? You could find me on the Twitters and the Twitch at Philodrin. Right there. And you can find all of us on Gmail, Google+, Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcasts. And you can follow us at all of those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Yeah!
Yeah!
I'm sad. Only 2 more episodes of Supernatural this season.
You know
Yeah.
what? We can say that for almost every TV show we started in the fall. they're all gonna end within the next couple weeks, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.